Hi, this is Byron Stripling with the Columbus Jazz Orchestra, and once again, we're excited and pleased this week to be presenting a show called A Night at the Cotton Club. Well, we play March 14th through 18th, and that's Wednesday at 7:30, don't forget, 7:30, and Thursday at 7:30, and then Friday we go to 8 p.m., Saturday 8 p.m., Sunday 2 o'clock, and also at 7:30. But my privilege is to be with some incredible musicians. Now, we know that the Cotton Club was all about great entertainment, great dancing, great singing, lots of fun and jokes, and they had some kind of serious alcohol there. It was a little different than what they had.
It was called booze.
It was called booze, huh? But we have with us two of the great musicians, well, I say musicians, they're musicians, but they're also Broadway stars. Right here I have the great Brenda Braxton and here Ted Levy, but I want to throw it to Brenda first. Brenda, I know that on Broadway you were in a show that I really loved, Smokey Joe's Cafe, and I'm going to ask you, what was the song that you made so famous? I know there were two, but there was one I particularly liked. Which song was that?
That was Don Juan.
What's the full words to Don Juan?
Don Juan, your money's gone, and when your money's gone, Don, your baby's gone.
I've been told that that's true for you.
No, not at all.
Baby's gone with the boa.
But, and what was the other one that you did?
Some Cats Know.
Some Cats Know was also.
So we
And,
get all those kinds of songs.
yeah, absolutely. Now, we also know Brenda's done so much Broadway. For how many years did you do Chicago?
Chicago I did for about 6 years.
My goodness.
Yeah, on Broadway, on the road.
And then touring with it.
Yeah.
And well, it's great to have you here with us. You'll do a couple things, you know, the great singers that went through the Cotton Club. We all know Lena Horne went there, Billie Holiday sang there, Ella sang there. But you're going to do a great tune that was done by, I think it was Alberta Hunter. Can you tell us about, what's the name of that song?
It's called Handyman.
It's just,
A very spiritual song.
I don't think we should tell them what that's actually about.
She does it with such feeling.
It's a spiritual, it's close to my heart.
Before I leave Brenda, though, I want to say both of you guys have, there was a great man that you both have a close association with, and his name was Gregory Hines.
Mr. Gregory Hines.
And I know that for a few years there, you guys were on stage with him every night. Brenda, can you share some reminiscences about that great man?
Oh, he was just amazing, a gentleman. That's one of the things I remember about him, is that he was a gentleman and he was a people person. He had the biggest heart, you know, and I think because of how he came up, he didn't take anything for granted, and everyone was on the same level, you know. He was just, and talented, just so talented, and we miss him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His humanity was indeed intact. On the same par with his ability to perform. His ability to perform was, as an artist, I think I can confidently say that he was second only to Sammy Davis Jr. As an artist. I didn't know Sammy as a human being, but we all know that Sammy was the greatest entertainer that ever lived. And Gregory Hines was in line for that title. He was in line for a championship belt, baby. And every night he went out on that stage, he proved it. I mean,
well, Ted, you're one of the great tap dancers of all time. And did you, in fact, on that show, Jelly's Last Jam, get to work with Gregory?
Gregory had to do what I told him to do. You want to talk about scared, because you are looking and working with an icon. And he made you so comfortable. I mean, you would tell him, no, I don't want you over here, I want you over there. And he would go, and you go, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. Because I just told him to go. But he understood that he needed everybody in that cast to make him look fabulous as Jelly Roll Morton, and play that role and bring it every night. What he brought, he helped us learn how to bring. Rain or shine, snowstorm. The biggest snowstorm in New York, he stood outside and signed autographs for everybody that waited to see in a snowstorm. On that stage, it was probably the best performance we had ever done. As a tap dancer, he was a musician, an artist. As a singer, he was a musician and an artist. As a dancer, I was better than him. Let me tell as a dancer, the things I learned from him, that he let me show him, because I did have something to bring to the table. He helped me feel comfortable with bringing it, but he taught me after the fact. The things that I remember we discussed is amazing when you remember the conversation in art. The man was an artist, and the Cotton Club, I think he was the connection to Sammy Davis Jr., who played at the Cotton Club, who did with Surprise, and the Nicholas Brothers. We did the Kennedy Center Honors with the Nicholas Brothers. He did the split and couldn't get back up. And we worked with the Nicholas Brothers, who were a favorite of the Cotton Club. And it's that kind of a legacy that is amazing to bring here with this band and Brenda and the song that she spiritually sings. And
you know, Brenda has a reputation, if we can come back to Brenda, because even her, in the show Jelly's Last Jam, and again, you even did Legs Diamond, that program.
Yes.
That's back in the day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But even her name in Jelly's Last Jam, what was her?
Let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you this story. Brenda Braxton is bad, y'all. Let me tell you how bad she is. Most people go to Broadway for two reasons when we were going. Two reasons. One was to get the Tony, and the other one was to have a Hirschfeld drawing. Now, Brenda and I were in the chorus together. We were considered an ensemble. The ensemble was stars. How that proved itself when the New York Times, Al Hirschfeld came to see the show.
And people should know that Al Hirschfeld is one of the
Al Hirschfeld is the Broadway designers, artists. They call
just
him cartoonist.
Like a caricaturist?
Caricaturist, yes.
But like every Sunday, usually there's
something. But he was famous at Sardi's.
Mm-hmm.
Sardi's has all these caricatures of the great artists up there. So now look, you had the major stars in the show. Gregory Hines, Tanya Bacon, Keith David, and Duganay, just stars. And there, in the New York Times, the Hirschfeld drawing, she does 5 beats across the stage, and Brenda Braxton gets a Hirschfeld drawing. There was a meeting.
Who called the meeting?
The cast, the ensemble, I think it was one of the women. They called the meeting and they said, we shall tie Brenda up. And
let's get off the subject because we got to go. What was Brenda's name?
Too Tight Nora.
That is sinful.
It's another spiritual.
It was a spiritual thing.
Name.
And we spiritually enjoyed it. It was beautiful.
Before we go any further, I got to stop y'all.
Yes,
but I want you to know that this kind of fun that we're having here will be the same kind of fun that we'll be having every single night, March 14th through 18th, right at the Southern Theater. We want you to join us. It's Wednesday through Sunday, 2 times on Sunday. These are 2 of the great performers and artists in Broadway history. They're with us all week.
Byron was in the show too, y'all.
Oh, I was in the pit.
It was the place to be.
I was in the pit.
We was hoping not to fall down there.
We love you. We will see you next time at the Columbus Jazz
Cotton Club,
Orchestra.
come on down.